Good morning. Do you have favorite Christmas carols? I do. And over the years, as I get to know some of them better, it kind of morphs. So I think it was last year, and I have a CD. Yeah, it's a CD. It's not an 8-track. But anyway, and it had, I heard the bells on Christmas Day. And I'd heard the song many times before. But then I actually stopped and listened to the lyrics. And so I want to share just a couple of them with you. I preached on this last year. We'll be preaching on other hymns this year, the carols of Christmas, giving the backstory. Because sometimes we think these guys that wrote the Christmas carols, they were writing in some ivory tower or something. It's like they weren't. They lived real lives like you and I live real lives. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. That verse, I listened to it, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's not like Christmas carol stuff. What's up with that? And when you talk about hate, so he's writing this in 1863. The Civil War is at its apex. Shortly, months after the Battle of Gettysburg, which I believe to this day is the bloodiest battle on American soil, North and South American soil in history. So what's the backstory for this song? Well, it was written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and he was a beloved poet of his day. But he didn't have an easy life, and I'm going to have to give you the shortened version this morning, but you can do your own research. He was married, and in 1831, he got married to Mary Potter, a childhood friend. And a few years later, he was on a trip overseas, and she had a miscarriage, and she died because of the complications with the miscarriage. 8 years later, he met his second wife, Frances Fanny Appleton, and they got married 4 years after that in 1843. And I believe they had 7 children together. And they had this idyllic life. And then in 1861, so just shy of their 19th anniversary together, it was summertime, July 9th, and she was doing something with 2 of the girls, and she had this hot sealing wax, and some of it fell on her summer dress, and it was a light material, and with the breeze blowing in the window, it ignited. And she was screaming. She was trying to get away from the girls. Henry was in the next room. He came running, and he tried to save her life. She had severe burns. So did Henry. But she died the next day. Henry was in such bad shape, he wasn't even able to attend the funeral. So he wore a beard the rest of his life to cover the scars on his face. Fast forward 2 more years, and his son Charlie twice is almost killed. Once is spared the Battle of Gettysburg because he has typhoid fever. But then he takes a bullet in the left shoulder that exits through the right shoulder blade. Initially, the word came to Henry that his son had been shot in the face. So now a month later, it's Christmas time, and he hears the bells. Okay. He was alone dining. He was at home. It was on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, just 2 weeks after bringing his son home, as a 57-year-old widowed father of 6 children, heard the optimistic sounds of Christmas bells ringing over Cambridge, announcing peace on earth and goodwill to men. And that's when he's like, but no, that's not the reality. And yet God touched him in that moment. In that moment, the war was still going on. He was still a widower. And he was able to pen these words. Then pealed the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail. With peace on earth, goodwill to men. The tragedies were still in his life. And for you, I know there are those of you that tune in. You've experienced tragedies. Some of you have experienced tragedies this year. May you hear the bells of Christmas that say, that though the scars may remain on the outside, though the war may rage on, though you can't change certain circumstances, God, by His grace and because of the coming of Jesus to earth, can heal the scars on the inside. God bless you. Have a great day.